welcome back. It is October 2022 and time for another garden check-in and tour video. We are about a month into fall, but here in Portland you probably couldn't tell because it has been very sunny and very hot and dry and not at all how fall usually is here in Portland. So yeah, it's been a really interesting start to the season, and I think the lingering heat and sun has been doing some interesting things in the garden. At this point, a lot of the vegetables in our garden have kind of already gone over and past their peak, but still some of the other plants like the peppers and tomatoes are getting like a second wind, and some plants like these flowers here have just started to bloom. So fall is a really interesting time in the garden, and I think this kind of weird weather that we've been having has really been mixing things up. So yeah, it's time to take another look around and see what's going on in the garden.
All right, so as usual, I like to start at the top of the garden. These begonia flowers are still having a little bit of a time blooming, and I love that. Like I said a couple videos ago, I was really worried that they weren't even going to come back at all, so really happy that those are still going strong. Our honeysuckle is still doing great. Kyle noticed these little like red berry looking things. I'm not sure what those are, but very interesting. The hummingbirds were coming and feeding on this every day for a while, but I think now most of the flowers are gone. They haven't really been around as much. These beautiful little purple flowers have all started blooming here in the last few weeks. I'm not exactly sure what they are. I think some type of like aster or chrysanthemum maybe. I'm not sure if I planted those or where they came from, but as you can see, we've got a few different like colors of asters and chrysanthemums planted here. This dahlia is still kind of going, but I haven't been doing as good of a job at coming out and picking them and deadheading them, which the more you deadhead, the more that like they'll bloom again. So I've kind of just let them go at this point, but yeah, all of these flowers have finally started to bloom. I think my one kind of gripe with our garden, at least this flower bed part, is that it's very purple. I didn't really think about that when we planted all of these plants, and in hindsight I wish we had picked a few more different colors. So I'm thinking that like maybe this winter, after everything dies back, dividing up some of these plants and spacing them out a little bit better so that like these yellow ones have more room to grow. But yeah, asters and mums are really beautiful and fun options for fall that like always just add a little bit of color to your garden, even when the rest of stuff is kind of dying back. This is a fun little project. Kyle built this kind of cover thing to go over the edge of our shed, so that we could put stuff back there and not have to worry about it getting wet. I think it turned out pretty good, but we'll see how it works. He's not too optimistic, but I think it looks really good. Yeah, kind of like I was saying, it's like a slow start to fall. We still have a lot of the leaves on our magnolia, so do our neighbors. They haven't even really started to turn brown yet. So yeah, that's kind of just happening everywhere, it seems like. So here's how the garden bed is looking at this point. As you can see, a lot of stuff has already died back, like the zucchini here, and the cucumbers. We also got rid of that little archway that Kyle had built. The beans did not do so well on it this year. Some of the cucumbers did pretty good, but I think the heat really did them over here in the last like month. But as I was mentioning, all of our peppers and tomatoes are having like a really great second wind. They are just loving all of this hot weather. So these are all the serranos that we have left. I like to wait for them to get fully red before I pick them, so they probably get a little bit longer. We've got some jalapenos, This is our poblano plant that is still doing a little bit of something. We've got some flowers and some fruits coming. The Marconi pepper, which are the big sweet ones. Probably not ready to harvest just yet, but they've been going here. We're about a month into fall and they're still doing pretty good. I just remember if we had planted the pear trees the last time I did one of these videos, but we've got our pear trees planted. These are supposed to be autumn fruiting varieties. At least that's what they told us at the store, but I'm not feeling very confident that they're gonna fruit this year, which is okay. In addition to the peppers, our tomatoes are also doing really well still. These ones especially, this was one that was like something Kyle just threw in there last year. And this one's like growing out of the ground, I guess, but it's like flowering and fruiting, which is really funny. Yeah, lots of tomatoes still to pick. Oh my gosh, what? I just noticed there's still some cucumber flowers like that. What? Crazy. Okay, I guess that one's not done yet. Look at all these tomatoes. We've still got plenty of tomatoes to pick. Plenty that like apparently are still flowering. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, that one looks pretty good. Yeah. Some of our bigger tomatoes are done, or like getting ready to be done so we can pick them. All of this basil. I think I showed last time all of this basil and how the bees were just loving it. And yeah, you can see it's really gone to flower. Which is fine. We don't mind that. And over here, we've got our eucalyptus tree, which is still doing good. This was one of those branches that I think I showed you a couple of videos ago, but I tried a layering technique here to see if I could propagate it. Oh my gosh, I'm like trying to get around this branch. See if I could propagate it. And it's been almost a year now, so I think that might be a fun project to do here in the next couple months is move that rock and see if the branch that's buried there has grown roots, and if it has, that means it's ready to be propagated. So that's really fun. Oh my goodness, who is that? Who is that? Oh, Beep. Here, we'll let her outside to join us. Come on. Hey. All right, and over here, we've got our other eucalyptus tree. This is actually leftover Halloween decorations that we have in a big bin here. What? Yeah. This is a dahlia plant that never actually flowered. I mean, it's still, I don't know. It's looking like something could happen, but like I said, it was a really hot summer, so I think some of the flowers just like don't even know what to do with themselves. These containers didn't really do much this year. We planted them last year with some flowers, but I think they were mostly like annuals, so this year it was just a bunch of grasses and weeds, which I was fine to let happen. This is our chimenea, and if you are from Portland and you like, oh my god, Beep, excuse me. Hey, get out of there. Get. Ah. What all that? Kyle built this whole thing. Anyway, if you're from Portland and you like chimeneas, you have probably heard of Little Baja over on Burnside. That is where we got this. So here is what the garden is looking like. It is October 2022. We are nearing the end of the busy growing season, and so from here on out, things are gonna get a little bit more slow and laid back, and that's just fine with us. I'm excited to kind of do some tidying up out here and cutting things back, and yeah, those are some of the projects we've got on the to-do list for the next month. So we'll see you again next month.